Hello, everyone! I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another adventure in GregTech New Horizons. So today, we are going to carry on from the last episode where we got our first bit of oil from the oil spout, and today we're going to be using that oil and processing it. So we've got quite a bit of work to do. So we're going to start by taking a look at the quest book, because the goal for today is I want to try and get these 8 quests here complete. Now, it is a bit of work, but I have already started this, and I've been doing a bit of work on this. So, well, let's just go take a look. So, let's go head on down to the basement, because I have been hard at work down here. Now, when we go here, it will be quite... Yeah, well, it won't be that bad, I don't think, but there will be a little bit of a mess down here, so do be mindful of that. It's actually not that bad down here, but under here, it is quite a bit of a mess. So, you're probably wondering, what in the world is all of this over here? What is going on? We have so many tanks. I mean, we've got so many tanks in the base now. We've got tanks up there. We've got some tanks over here. I mean, we've gone tank crazy recently, haven't we? But this is all for a big purpose right here, and it all is related to the oil we have. So take a look at the amount of oil we now have. We are getting tons and tons of oil, and I can't tell if that's going up anymore, actually. Looks like it isn't anymore. Let me go take a quick peek over there. We might have already drained the entirety of the oil spout. Yes, this is connected. Yeah, I don't think we're getting any more oil. I think we've actually exhausted it already, but we did get a decent amount from that oil spout. More than enough for what we need to do. So, anyways, though, you're probably wondering, what on earth is going on over here? We've got all these tanks. I've got a whole bunch of other tanks. I've got machines. And then I have this over here. So, if we come back to the quest book, the first step in our oil processing is we need to make these items here. We need to make sulfuric gas, sulfuric naphtha, heavy sulfuric fuel, and light sulfuric fuel. So in order to make these, we're basically putting the oil that we are getting from the oil spout into a distillery on a different circuit. And it's basically, circuit 1, 2, 3, 4. So for sulfuric gas, we're using circuit 4. For the sulfuric naphtha, we use circuit 3. For the heavy sulfuric fuel, we use circuit 1. And the light sulfuric fuel, we're going to use circuit number 2. And basically what I've already done is I've already set all of this up. So in these distilleries, we have circuit 1, we have circuit 2, we have circuit 4, and we have circuit 3. Now, the reason it's actually not 1, 2, 3, 4 is because the thing we're getting from circuit 3, which is, I believe, was it the naphtha? Let me take a quick look at that again. I believe naphtha was circuit 3. Yes, I wanted that one in a specific tank, so I actually put that one on the end. So it's not actually 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's fine. So we have 4 distilleries, and they're all processing the oil. And the reason I've already gone ahead and done this is because it's just been a long waiting game, basically, to get these in. Because to complete these quests, we needed a bit of this. So sulfuric gas, we need 16. We need 9 of the naphtha cells. Heavy, we need 8, and this was the one I really needed to wait for, was 48 sulfuric light fuel cells. But we should already have that amount. So we should be able to turn in these quests, and we should be able to carry on to the next step. So we are going to need to grab some cells, and before we do that, let me show you downstairs as well, because I need to disconnect some stuff. So I do have a ladder down here. So this is the messy part I was talking about, because this is a lot of pipes down here. So we have to connect steam to pipes. We have to do the different sort of fuels. I had to connect these up to various different places. And, well, there's still more pipes we have to connect as well today as well. So we've got a lot of work still to do, but I've definitely made a dent into it. So what we need to do first is... in fact, maybe it would be better if we do this from the surface, actually. Not surface, but you know what I mean, up here. Yeah, I think it'll be easy if I do it like this. What I need to do is I need to disconnect these tanks from here, because we are going to empty them and just fill them right back in quickly. And if I do allow them to refill, I won't be able to replace the cells back in. So all we need to do for just a moment is just disconnect you. We'll disconnect you too. And now we can go ahead and try and get those quests knocked out. So I believe... where are my cells at? They're in this backpack here, aren't they? There we go. We got some cells. So We are going to need to complete these. So we have the sulfuric gas. We needed 16, and now we have to find it. All right, sulfuric gas, 16 cells. That should complete that quest. All right, there we go. Put you back in. Next, we have, again, the sulfuric naphtha, which is 9. That one was right here. Oh, naphtha went into this one, didn't it? I just noticed that, actually. Right, well, that won't actually be that big of a deal, I don't think. Do I want to keep it like... Nah, I guess it's a little bit too late. I mean, I could change it, but... Let me look actually back down here again. Right, so that one went there, and that one... Yeah, I can keep it like that. I think that'll work just fine. Right, why did I think the naphtha was over here, then? Right, it doesn't really matter that much, I suppose. Alright, so next we need to go ahead then, and we needed to grab... I didn't even grab the naphtha yet, did I? Let's grab the naphtha quick. Alright, I got 10. That should be a quest. Let's just put that back in. There we go, sulfuric naphtha. And then it was the heavy sulfuric fuel. That one is here. We just needed 8 of those. Put that back in. And then it was the light sulfuric fuel. That one we need 48. So let's go ahead then and do that. That should complete that. Put that back in. Alright, so we got all of those done. Alright, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and connect everything back up quickly. Oh, we got another quest as well. Simple distillation. Let's see, actually. Oh, I know, that's in the working with oil tab, right. We're not going to focus on this quest line just yet today, I don't think, but what do we have to do next? Chemical reactor. Okay, so it's actually kind of related to what we're doing, I guess. Right, well, we're going to focus on this today. So the next step now is we need to process basically these sulfuric fuels. That's the next thing we need to do, but first, let's connect these up again. There we go, and let's go ahead then and fill in those holes. Right, so now let's talk about what we need to do next in order to actually get to these 4 fuels right here. Well, gases and fuels, I guess. So refinery gas, well, it's basically the same process for all of them. What we need to do is we need to put the thing we want to process inside of a chemical reactor with some hydrogen, and we will get the thing we want alongside a byproduct of hydrogen sulfide. And it's the same process for all these. So naphtha, same thing. The only difference is that the amount of cells you put in is different. Now, we could actually do it the other way around, put the hydrogen cells, but I'm deciding to do it as hydrogen as the fluid, and then this guy's the cell. So the amount of hydrogen is actually different, too. I just noticed that as well. 500 heavy fuel, 250, 500, right. All right, so basically what we need to do is we have a couple of inputs and outputs, and it is nighttime as well, so let's go to sleep quickly. But we're going to need to use basically every side of this chemical reactor that we can. So what I've basically done is I actually have power, and the reason these tanks are elevated by block is because the steam turbines that power the chemical reactors are actually hidden right behind it. I had to do it that way because this is the only way I could figure it would work, because we're going to have 2 inputs and 2 outputs. So we have the fuels and stuff right here in the low voltage fluid tanks, which will be pumped into the chemical reactor. Next, we need to get the hydrogen in. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to grab some small bond fluid pipes, and our hydrogen tank is right here. And I know that his pipe's not connected yet. I'll do that part last, but we're going to need to get it so that we can how to connect them up to all of these. So let's see if we can get this done. No, I didn't want to do that. That's why I haven't connected it yet. I don't want to waste any hydrogen, because this is going to use a lot of our hydrogen, I think. And yeah, turn you off. I don't know why you are. I don't know why that's on like that. Yeah, that'll work. Not actually, not yet. We need to go over one more with you. Golly. All right, there we go. Got that one. Yep, so that's lined up there. Perfect. So we're going to drag you down. Put you down 1. And then we're going to put you down by 1. Okay, that should work. Just put the arrows on these as well so I don't forget. Alright, there we go. So now we got that. We can come in like this. No, I don't want to go any further. Now we're going to go across. Alright, there we go. Put those there. We're going to drag you along. Whoops. Golly, I'm missing a lot today, aren't I? Alright, so let's get you along. I mean, this is a small pipe, so it's a little bit hard to get to it, but I'm going to simply bring you along to here. Right, that should work there. And then we'll put you in there. So that's going to be hydrogen connection there. Let's turn on the line mode. That's a little bit faster. Yep, there we go. And then all the way like that. And then we'll drag you down like so. That should work right there as well, I suspect. Get line mode back on one more time there. There we go. Those are now, well, they won't be filling in yet. I'll connect that up. So now we just do the same exact thing on this side. So drag it along like so. Go. Get it to right here. Nope, didn't want you. We want you. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now we'll go back to the line mode on the wrench, and we'll get all the arrows on there pretty quickly. There we go, and then we just need to connect you up right there. There we go. Alright, so we got that done, almost. Now it's done. There we go. So all of these are now connected up, and all that's left to do is just hook up the hydrogen, and that should be hydrogen going in. We'll find out here in a moment. Yep, there we go. Hydrogen is entering into the chemical reactors. Lovely. All right, so hopefully this will be fast enough. Well, the speed doesn't really matter for this one as much, I don't think. Right, so the next step that we need to do now that we've done that, next we need to go ahead and get these fuels into here. So we are going to need a couple of pumps, I believe. Let's see, what do I have in my backpack here? Got 4 pumps. We might need to grab a couple more, but this will be enough to get us started. So I'll put some pumps there. Pump there. Pump on you, and a pump on you. And I guess we do need to set you... We need to set you to import? Oh, wait, why am I putting pumps on these? Excuse me. These are supposed to be conveyor modules. We're going to have to put cells in these. My bad. I don't know what I was doing there. Right, we don't need the pumps for this yet. Well, what we actually need was the conveyor modules. So we'll need those, and we're going to need to use cells. And I've decided we're going to keep these things stocked with 24 cells. That's what I'm going to do. So we put 24 cells each in. There we go. All right, now we know what we're doing. We put the conveyor modules on. It's interesting. Shouldn't activate yet because we need to put the circuit in, I believe. All right, so let's see here. You're stocked up. You're stocked up. You're stocked up. And you're stocked up. Lovely. Right, so I believe it was circuit 4 for all of these. That one's circuit 4, 4, 4, and 4. And the reason it was a 24 is because 24 is divisible by all of these, because this one you only use 2 cells, this one's 3. Heavy is 1, and light fuel was 3 as well. So that's why I'm using 4. That's why I did 24. And all we need to do again is set it to circuit 4, and we should be well on our way here. Okay, heavy fuel and hydrogen sulfide. Lovely. Okay, so now we need to get you to circuit 4, and that will make us naphtha. Alright, so that one's off and running. Next, we're going to be setting you to circuit 4, and we'll get our hands on some refinery gas. And we need to set you to circuit 4, and we will get our hands on some light fuel. Right, so the next step we need to do is we are going to... Well, we'll deal with the items first, since that will be a bit easier. So, we're going to need to grab more conveyor modules, because we're actually going to do the fluid auto output to the bottom for the hydrogen sulfide, but we'll deal with that step last. So, let's grab 4 more conveyors. And we're going to need more conveyors, actually, aren't we? Right, so we need to put conveyors on the top of these, because we're going to send these into the... Are these set to export? I believe they are. Yep. So those should fill in here in a moment, right? Let's see. There we go. So now we have a heavy fuel in there. Right, so actually this is the part we need the pumps. And we're also going to need a few other things. We need more conveyors. Alright, let's quickly grab those. I need a couple more conveyors. I think we're okay on pumps. But, yeah, this is quite a process. A lot of stuff is actually having to happen to get done with this, but we're getting there. So, let's see. There's the conveyors. Let's take a few extras just in case, actually. Let's just go at 4 more of each. There we go. That should be good enough. Let's head back down here then, right. So, let's go ahead and get this underway. So, next we need to go ahead and feed you the... Well, we have one of 2 options. Let's do the items first. So, we're basically going to feed these cells back into here again, and they'll basically be on a loop. We've done something like that before. So, electrum item pipe. Let's get our wrench. Are you set on export? Yeah, you're set on export, so we'll connect it to here. Alright, is that working? Yes, it is. Lovely. And then that should start going back through, and should all be on basically a loop at that point. Yep, there we go. The other one should also follow suit, I believe. You have cells in you. Yeah, that does seem to be working. Great. Alright, so next what we're going to do is... how do we want to do this port, actually? What pipes are available to me? Do we want to use the potent pipes? No, we might need a little bit more bronze pipes, because what we need to do now is fill that up there. So let's actually go ahead and then head back up again and grab a couple pipes. We might have to make some, actually, but we should be alright. So, let's see, actually. Do I have any bronze in here? Yeah, I have a little bit. That should be more than enough right there. So, let's do that quick. Get those made up, and let's head back down once again. So, this should be able to fill up the tanks now, which would be quite good. I'm not really sure exactly what we're going to use these fuels for and stuff just yet. I mean, I call them fuels, but they can also be distilled into other stuff. And we will have to do that, because our main goal of all this is to get polyethylene. So we will have to do that, but I believe the one we're going to want to use is, if we go to the quest, it tells us, I believe naphtha tells you, yeah, naphtha can be used to get ethylene for polyethylene. So naphtha is going to be the most important one for us. So we got that filled up. So let's go ahead then and... connect you up, I guess. And again, we're going to need to give you a pump. You filling in? Lovely, naphtha. Alright, so we got naphtha hooked up. This one is going to be hooked up as well. We now have heavy fuel. Next, we're going to hook up this one as well, which is, I believe this was the refinery gas. So we'll put the pump on you as well. There we go, refinery gas. And then finally, the last one, last but certainly not least, is going to be the light fuel. Give you a pump. And we have light fuel, so Looks like we're filling up now. Yes, we are. You don't actually see the refinery gas that... Well, it's the gas, I guess. That's why you don't see it. When it's a fluid, you actually see it filling in, but when it's a gas, you don't because it... Well, it's a gas. Yep, these two you see filling in right here. Right, so we got all of that done then. So this is all in a loop now. Now we have to deal with the final part, which is the hydrogen sulfide, because once this fills in, well, the machine's going to stop. We have to deal with that somehow, and that's where this 5th iron tank comes into play. So what we're going to use is we're going to need to grab some potent pipes. I do quite like the noise that the chemical reactors make. So let's go down here. So I've already started this process, and what we're going to do is we have these small potent pipes. This is where it's going to come from. So we're going to have to hook these all up. And we're going to hook you up all the way over here. So let's get that connected. Put you there. That should do. And connect you up right there. And then we combine these together so these meet up right here, and this is going to now go forward. You meet there, you're going to go forward as well. And we just hook these two up so that this one can meet up with those other two. And now we just take you along like so. And we're going to need to go into the hole, but I think we can get up there. We'll do that from up there. Put you there, and then line mode should be enough to get the rest of this done. Perfect. So we got that knocked out. Lovely. Alright, so let's go and head back up. We do have a ladder here. Looks like we'll have just enough pipes to get this done as well. Actually, I can't get in there, can I? Let's go around here then and also go to sleep because nighttime is here. So yeah, this is a bit of work involved, but it's not too bad in the end. I mean, it was a lot of machines I had to make and a lot of stuff, but it does appear we're going to get everything done. Can I get in here? Thank you. Right, so we should be able to cook you up to here, and we'll do that. Nope, not that. I just got hit by pollution, I think, as well. Final pipe right there. Okay, put you in. And yeah, we do have pollution, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about doing that air filter here at some point, because in this sector, we are getting polluted now. So all that's left to do is we just have to activate. We have to make you face down. And then we activate the fluid auto output feature. We should get hydrogen sulfide in this tank. Perfect. So I'm not actually sure what we're going to do with this hydrogen sulfide. In the MV8 with an electrolyzer, we can actually get some of the hydrogen we're using back, as well as some sulfur, but that's pretty much the main use. I mean, chemical reactor, we can get diluted sulfuric acid along if we use hydrogen sulfide and water in an LV chemical reactor, and diluted sulfuric acid does give us sulfuric acid, I believe, if we put it in a distillery. So that is another possible use, but we already have a way of getting it by using oxygen, but maybe that way might be better, so we'll see. Again, we're not even using this stuff right now, but I do believe it will be used later on, so we'll have to see. But yeah, look at that. Hydrogen sulfide. So we basically have knocked out all of this stuff here. Look at that. Heavy fuel, naphtha, refinery gas, and light fuel. And we do need to turn in some quests, so yeah, we're going to get all of those right there. So let me go see if I can get some cells quickly, and we'll try and turn all of those in here real quick, now that we have access to them. So yeah, this seems like it's turned out pretty well. I'm quite happy with this. Let's go ahead on... Where are we at? Need some cells. What do I have? There we go. Stack of cells should be good enough for now. Let's head back down and get those cells going. Right, so let's see. The quests are gonna say for refinery gas we need 16. Go, and then for the naphtha we needed 9. The heavy fuel needs 8. That one in there, and let's grab these as well. Refinery gas. Should be able to put you back in. Naphtha. Put you back in. Heavy fuel. Put you back in. And what was that explosion I just heard? Might have been a mob. Most likely it was. I don't know why something would explode, but it is a good idea to check. Yeah, I think there's a cave back there. And when the mobs... Sometimes when a mob dies, you know, you hear that explosion sound. It does scare me every time that happens, though. But there's no reason for anything to explode, I don't think. So, looks like we're fine. Most likely a mob. Alright, so where were we? Alright, let's grab the rest of these cells here. And the last thing we needed to grab, I believe, was the light fuel, correct? Oh, we didn't complete this one? I guess I didn't complete that one. Heavy fuel. There we go. And then we also need to get the light fuel, so we need 48 cells of that, so I'll just put all of that in there. Alright, so we got that done. So look at that. All of these are knocked out right here now, which is pretty good, I'd say. Let's see if we can get that. It does take a bit for these to fill in these tanks, but we just need 48. Almost there. There we go. 48 light fuels should complete the quest. Perfect. Alright, put you back in there. Right, so we knocked out all of this, and... Ooh, what was that right there? Methane. Okay, I can complete that one as well, it appears, because we do have methane up here. So let's quickly do that. This is from the rubber production area. We use this as a fuel for this part. Yep, we have methane there. How much did it want again? I think 32 it said. Yep, 32 cells. 32 cells of methane. I'll keep that one. Yep. Oh, you will need this in later tiers for PTFE as an example. Okay, interesting. Right, well, that's another quest knocked out, so we're getting quite a few quests here. So what else is there to do? So we did all this. Butane and propane. Right, I remember this. I was looking at this. So this is going to be oil cracking. So that's the next step, but we're not going to do that today. The main goal for today was to set up the 4 fuels, which we have done. And in fact, I should have some cells left over here. There we go. Perfect. All right, so a lot of work today. A lot of different fuels, a lot of different stuff. But it is all working. We're getting different stuff done. And we still have tons of... Oh, we are getting oil still. Ah, interesting. I thought it had stopped, but it is filling back in again. Do you see that? Yeah. So we're still getting oil. All right, just noticed that. So a lot of stuff we've done here. So we do need to claim our rewards. A couple of quests here to turn in. So sulfuric gas, I can get nitrogen. Oh, actually, before we do that quickly, let me take a look at a hydrogen tank, because we have been using it. I'm just curious to see how much we're using. Okay, so that is definitely started draining here. But it's not that big of a deal. I mean, this is our main use for hydrogen right now, so if that thing starts draining, that's fine. Right, so now let's go ahead and claim a reward. So we do have a loot bag, it looks like. Yeah, no need for nitrogen. I think a lot of these are going to give us loot bags. Yeah, hydrogen, I'll take the loot bag. Going to get a lot of these chemist coins as well. A lot of chemistry oil cell. We don't need that. I'll take another loot bag. Loot bag. Ooh, obsidian tank. Let's just take the loot bag. I don't think we need an obsidian tank. This isn't a portable one either. So we'll take another loot bag. We can do another loot bag. We can do another loot bag. We can do another loot bag. Why not? And we'll take... Ooh, cetane boosted diesel. Let's take that one, actually. Because I don't even think we can make that right now. We might as well take it. Right, so 8 loot bags out of all that, but we're not going to be opening them. We're saving all our loot bags for episode 100 for the grand loot bag opening. So let's go add this to the pile and see how much we've got already. We've still got a few episodes to go as well. So we've got now 12 loot bags stored up. That's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, so we've now completed 114 out of 155 quests in the OVH. We're definitely making some progress. And look at that, all these oil quests now starting to get knocked out. Oh, I almost forgot actually as well, the lubricant. We can turn that one in as well. Let's get one more quest knocked out then. We should have amassed enough lubricant now. We set that up last time. Almost forgot about it. Let's go do that as well. Where's that at? In here? There we go. Got quite a bit of lubricant. Pick that up. How much did it want? Oh no, it wanted 8, didn't it? Yeah, I picked up 4. My bad. Now we should have enough lubricant. There we go. Lubricant and another loot bag. We definitely don't need seed oil. So we actually have 13 loot bags then. Now, lubricant's actually going to be quite useful for us because we can use this in the cutting machine to cut things faster, so that would be quite good. In fact, might as well fill up a large steel cell with it right now and take that upstairs. So I'll probably start using that in the cutting machine immediately because it will be quite good now. So that's actually quite a nice thing to have. We should have made that earlier, but, well, better late than never. So put you with these. And I guess we'll add the loot bag to the pot over here. So yeah, things are definitely coming along now. We've got our oil processing underway, and we've got more work to do in oil. The main goal, as we've had over here for a while now, is make polyethylene. That's the main goal. We've made it past this step now. We've processed and refined oil, and now we're on the final step of making the polyethylene. So we'll have to figure that out here, but I think we're getting close to polyethylene. So yeah, things are coming along. Let's just go take a quick peek down here one more time, make sure everything is functioning. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, we've got 66 buckets of heavy fuel, 81 buckets of naphtha, 136 buckets of refinery gas, and 129 buckets of light fuel. Now, I could use this as an actual fuel. It is a pretty good fuel, I think. I mean, I could use a lot of this stuff. How much do we have of this? Okay, not that much. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, I could use these for some stuff. So, I mean, let me know if you have any ideas, but they could have other uses for us. We'll see. But we're making all of them, and we have plenty of oil still to go through. So, I mean, we've been gaining oil. This is actually, we're getting oil faster than these things are distilling them into the different stuff. So, we're doing quite well, I'd say. I'm quite pleased with this. But yeah, I think that is where we're going to leave this one. We've got quite a little operation underway here, but it's looking good. Quite happy with how this has turned out, in fact. And we've got a lot more work to do going forward. So I think that is where we're going to end this episode. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.